In the second video on the rrr247.com/master, which is step one on your bookmarks. And so let me just, I'm here on your website, logged into your dashboard, and we're going to start by modifying the two posts. So easy, well, I'll show you a couple ways to get to the post to modify it. This is always here because it's in your dashboard. You go to posts, all posts, and these are listed by the title on the post. So the first one is welcome to your online community. Get ready to be impressed. Okay, and the second post is benefits for you as part of of this online community. And when you hover over them, they give you this option to edit. And so since this way is always here, I'll do that first. And I'll click on edit. Now we know this is the one because yesterday when we were on, we changed the date and we changed it to 10/20. And notice this one is still 3/26. But in order to keep this one on the bottom of your homepage, you'll have to make, when we redo this, in fact, maybe I'll just do it right now. So the reason is I don't want this to appear at the top. So watch what I do here. I'm going to go to edit to this one, which we're not really going to start editing the content right now. I'm just going to go to edit. And there's another way to do this, but I showed you this way yesterday. And right here is the date. I don't have anything. See, if I selected something, now this is the settings icon, and this is the Yoast. There's two parts to this this dashboard thing here. I mean, this editing mode. So one is the Yoast. That's what keeps us on track for the SEO, where we get the free organic traffic from Google mainly. That's who we care about. And this is settings. Okay, so when you hover over it, it says what it is. This is settings, and this one is Yoast. And that's really the only two components to this. All right, now when I click away, it'll go to post. It says post. It'll normally say page because you'll be done with your post, but this one is a post. But we still want to modify the date. So I'm going to just click the date, and then I can modify it by going to October, and I'll put it on the 19th. So that way it'll be an older date than the 20th, and that it'll keep it at the bottom of your website. So once you do this, there's really no save button. You just click this one. Okay, and then and you're going to change the pages. So just remember, October 19th is your launch date. So anything, you can change the dates on the pages to something other than anything after October 19th, because Google knows everything. And when you apply for AdSense, they're going to say, wait a minute, she has this page created in 2022. This website didn't exist in 2022. You know what I'm saying? So we want to have a more recent date. It's just simple to do. All right, so now I will go back.
Update the dates after each post?
No. It updates. It keeps a history. You just do this one time and that's it. Just leave it like that. And so you don't have to change this one. I just changed it. No, it does keep a history, and we don't really want to update that because it's gets more traction by being out on the longer it's out there, the better, the more value it has. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
So anyway, now I'm going to go back to your website, and I showed you how to get to the from your posts. Now this is a shortcut. So if I before I clicked on posts, all posts, and this is a shortcut, takes me exact same place here. And we're going to start working on this first post. You see, this is October 19th. This is October 20th. The most recent date is going to be at the top on your home page. Just remember, there's only two posts, and after that, you're done with posts, and you're going to be working on those Velveeta pages. Okay, so, but we do need to start by getting experience, and that's what's in the video on the master page, the second video. So, I'll just go there real quick and show you. So RRR247. Wait a minute, I typed F. And that, see, I go here so much, it's in my cache. So here, and when you scroll down here, and the first video is about the backup, which we covered yesterday. And then the second video is this one. It's modifying setup, part 3, affiliate contacts, post number 1 and post number 2. All right, so that's where you're at, and this video goes with that. All right, so this is video Rory's explanation to show you.
Okay, now we're going to have some fun. We're going to go into the affiliate disclosures, the contact us, the homepage posts.
Okay, so he says it, affiliate disclosures, contact us, and homepage posts. Whichever he does first, I don't know, but you can just, I think he does the affiliate disclosures, which is not a lot of changes on that. I think we even did a backup for that on your drive. Yeah, we did.
We did that.
Okay. So anyway, that's that. Now let me digress here, and I don't need to watch a video, so I'm going to close that page. Now,
To reword.
yeah, that's what I'm getting to right now. So we're going to get, and there's more to just rewording it, and that's what I want you to understand. And this is like, if you were going to learn a musical instrument, have you ever played a musical instrument? Tried to?
Yeah, I tried.
Okay. So yeah, bottom line is, you got to learn what goes where and all that different stuff. So there's a formula to how this gets. It's not just a bunch of words on the page. It's based around, now that's where this Yoast check mark comes in. It's based around this key phrase, online community. Okay, remember when we did your backup, we copied this key phrase. So that way, if we were, let's say we were starting a brand new, a new post, a new page, let's say, and I'll just open it in a new tab, and now I'll show you. So if you had a blank here and you're just going to create a whole new page, you have to decide what are you going to put in here, and that's where you put that. That's the key phrase. So when you recreate a page from your backup, you paste that in there. That's why you want a copy of it, and then you go down to the bottom of this and you paste the slug in here and the meta in here, and then you go back up here and you put this on code editor, and which is here, and then you paste all that code that we and your title here, and then your page is recreated. That's simple. That's why we have you do that backup in case you ever did need to recreate the page. It won't be a big deal. It'll, if some catastrophic thing happens and a hacker, worst case scenario, gets in there, they can give you a fresh website where you just go through there, copy and paste, and create the whole thing over again, page by page. But that's what takes the longest time. But really, with those 5 bits of information, you could recreate the page. So that's why we want to have a
Can
backup.
you explain what a slug and a meta means? I mean, I see it written on there, but what is a slug?
Okay, let me do that. All right, so before I start modifying the content on this page, see, since this is a post, there really isn't a slug because it appears on the home page. Let me show you.
Is only.
Yeah, that's what comes after the /. It's .com 2t08.com / something.
Okay.
And so the slug, and then where you see the slug is the same, and this is kind of redundant. The focus key phrase is usually what people start, what you need in the very beginning to create a page. So it's up here at the top. But when you want to see the slug down at the bottom here into this SEO, this is at the bottom of every page. In this case, it happens to be a post that I'm looking at, but this is all the same. And even this slug is here, online community. However, it doesn't go to this slug because it's a post, not a page. So, but this is where you see the slug, and this looks identical to pages. So here, let me do this. I'll go here.
So what is a slug? A slug is a title or
It's
a subtitle?
it's a word. Here, let me do this. I'm going to open your website in a new tab, and because I really need you to understand this. So this is your website here, and now I'm looking at the home page. This tab is logged in, but this one in the edit mode. But this one's the way it looks out in the world, except this line going across here where it says Howdy Don is showing that I'm logged into your website. Okay. So since your posts appear at your home page, they don't have anything called a slug that's per se, even though it does have it down there in that criteria. So it would be easier for me to explain to you what I'm talking about by going to a page, and the next page you're going to do, or we did affiliate disclosures yesterday. Okay, for instance, so if I go to affiliate disclosures, now here is the slug right here. All right, so it is the part that comes after the .com, the words. So they're like,
Is info after .com.
but it's the address of the page. So you cannot have two slugs that are identical because it's the address. Just imagine if you had two houses with the same address on it, the mail wouldn't know which house to go to. So it's
Of a page.
the address of a page. Yes, keep that in mind. So when I log in here, go to where I can edit this page by clicking this button, and it looks exactly like what I'm getting ready to show. Oh, we forgot to take this out of code editor. So you can exit code editor right here, or you can click the three dots and come back here and click on visual editor, and it'll go back to looking like this. Okay, so no big deal. If you see that, it just means you forgot to take it out of code editor. Now go down here to the bottom and it looks exactly like it does on that post. And here is the key phrase, which is over here at the top of this, right? So affiliate disclosures, key phrase. These both two things are identical and they would, if I were to change it here, it'd show up here different. But bottom line is you come down here and this is a preview. So I'm going to explain the meta. So this is a preview of when somebody lands on does a search and they land on your page comes up in their search results, this is what it appears like, okay, on their screen. Now this is the mobile view, and you can look at what a desktop view would look like or the mobile results. All right, so you can play around with it. And the words that show up here, which are oftentimes the first words in a paragraph on our page anyway, because we need that, and I'm getting ready to explain that to you. But you can put anything in here as long as that focus key phrase appears in here. And our focus key phrase is this, affiliates disclosure, right here. Right? So that appears there. And see, it's not capitalized on a slug. So, if you were to capitalize it, and I usually type it in and put the dash myself. But if you leave WordPress to do it, it'll uncapitalize it and add the dash to make it into a slug. So the slug is the address, and it'll make more sense to you as we get going here. I really need you to understand that this meta description does require the focus key phrase to be part of it, and every page has a different focus key phrase, and so we can go after different keywords for the same item, and you'll understand that. But that's about
I
we
understand that. Those are like keywords.
keywords, right? We could write
stuff.
we could write 100 pages on one offer if we want. You know what I mean? Just depending on your ambition and how skilled you become. But there's nothing holding us back from creating more and more on one thing. So anyway, bottom line is the Velveeta's anchor offer number one, and that's the first things we want to get modified so we can start advertising those, and hopefully somebody will sign up using your link, and you'll make some commissions doing that. But anyway, if not, we'll drive traffic to your website. So that explains what this meta is. And the only reason I came here is because I want to be able to explain the part about the slug, because you don't see it on a post. You only see this on a page. Okay.
Yeah, but when I hear it, I want to know what it is.
Yeah, and now that's right. You do need to know what the jargon is. If somebody says slug, I need you to know what that means. You know what I mean? Say.
Right.
So yeah. No, we didn't waste any time here. And if you need to review that, this will be on a recording. So anyway, bottom line is now we're going to start modifying the content on the first post. So you're going to do the process the same here. So right now I need to explain this formula for the focus key phrase. The formula is this. You need it in your focus key phrase, whatever's in this box, and it's labeled focus key phrase, needs to appear in the title. Now, we don't have any settings to adjust this title, right? So an easy way to do it, it would be this. I could just, and here, I always, even though we have it on our affiliate disclosures, we have it capitalized. in the focus key phrase, don't capitalize it. Just put it that way, and I'll explain why in the future. But basically, if it's capitalized over here, it has to be capitalized over here. But if it's not capitalized over here, it can be either capitalized or not capitalized. Like, see here, he has it not capitalized here, and he has it online is there, and it's capital C there. So that's just Rory, whatever. Online, this is a title. So if you notice, Rory has his title written like it would be a sentence. I don't usually make titles. I think of a title as like a title on a book. That's not generally a sentence, but that's the way he does it. That's his style. So remember, you want to put your style. There's this part, there's no, the more individualized you make it, the better, because it's your system and you want to collect like-minded people, and you do that by being unique and having stuff to offer. So anyway, we can rewrite this title. So online community needs to appear in the title. So we can just I'll copy that so I don't have to type it again. And then I'm doing Control A, and that highlights everything within the back box. I can backspace. Now I got a fresh place to add a title. So I don't usually capitalize preposition. We're very glad you're here with our online community. So his says, get ready to be a you could rewrite this into your own words any way you want, but those are my words. So, that's what I chose. But see, I have online community now. And when you're going to keep your Yoast highlighted here. And if you need more screen space, you can, whichever one of these, it's on the side. If you click it twice, it'll back that off. And so if you're on a training and you see it, something looking like this when Rory's working, it's because he has it in full screen mode. I usually keep it over here on the left just because that's the way I like it. I don't know, it's my particular way of doing it. So it's these three dots. You get to either have it this way or the other way. Now, this is written in blocks, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to you yesterday. Okay, so this right here is still the three dots. If I click somewhere, that'll go away. It'll go back to the Yoast. All right, so we have our online community focus key phrase in our title. Now it needs to appear in the first sentence of the first paragraph, the focus key phrase. All right, so that's the second place you need it. And it appears, what's that?
Appear in title and needs to appear in first sentence.
First sentence of first paragraph. So after the title, you don't have a heading, you have a paragraph. You don't come to a heading until after you've typed at least one paragraph, okay? So you need it in the first. Now, here's where it starts to get a little, you learn this by doing this, okay? So, but I'm going to show you the different ways to do this, all right? So one way that's real easy to do is to do this. When you click in, now watch what happens if I click out here in the white space. See how that menu disappeared?
Yeah.
That was there. Now when I click inside this paragraph, that menu appears. So you see, and it shows this symbol signifies paragraph. Okay, so that shows you the type of block. These are called blocks. And when I hover over it, it shows you which block. Okay, so if you're wondering what this menu is pertaining to, because it only pertains to whatever's active. In other words, where your cursor is blinking. So this menu is different depending on the type of block. All right, so when I click on this image, for instance, now the menu looks like this. See how it's different? But the image is here, and it shows you this is an image, right? So, you know, that the only other type of block you need to worry about right now, paragraph, and then you have your image. You'll be swapping out images and stuff to make it different. And then the last one is the heading, all right? So your first paragraph needs to include the first the key phrase in the first sentence. Sorry, I was trying to think ahead and I couldn't. All right, so what I do here, the easiest way to modify this content is this. If you click here, right at the end of the last character in a paragraph and hit enter, it'll add a new paragraph block for you. Okay. And if I did that and I said to myself, oh, wait a minute, I didn't want a paragraph, I wanted a heading, for instance, I could click this and then it'll give me the option to change it to something different. All right. But meanwhile, and you'll discover these things because there's more than one ways to do what I'm doing here. But what I can do now with this new block, I can read Rory's words. So I just read Rory's words. We would like to welcome you to our online community where great things are made available to you here. All right, so that sounds awkward to me. I wouldn't say it like that. How would I say it and use the key phrase? So I could say something just like welcome. And it needs to appear in the first or second sentence. So welcome with an exclamation point is really a sentence, right? Yeah, you get my thoughts. Excited to welcome and welcome you. You know, I don't really like to rewrite it. I can, but the bottom line is to our welcome you to our, and I don't want to stop here, but online community. And then he said, great things are made available for you here. So we can, it doesn't have to be one sentence. I can make it into 3 sentences if I want. You know, so Yoast does not like run-on sentences. More than 20 words, this little face is going to start turning orange when you violate what Yoast. And so that's when you're going to need me to get back on and show you the answer. So write down your questions and keep modifying content because that's the time consuming part of this process. So once you get to where you're modifying this, just tackle it one paragraph at a time. Don't say, oh my God. You know, it's like when I learned how to snow ski, I got so scared because I was at the top of the mountain looking way down there at the bottom of the valley there. And I said, oh my God, I got to go all the way. And then later on, maybe a year later or whatever, I got up to the top of the mountain and said, no, I'm not going to look down at the bottom of the valley. I'm going to look where I'm going to go ski over there and make a turn and stop. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. I skied down 20 feet, turned and stopped, and then I skied another 20 feet, and eventually I got to the bottom of the mountain. And then that fear thing and my skill really started to increase that way. So, you know, don't get confused about the
So
you know.
I just look at the sentence that he did, and the paragraph he did, and kind of
Reword it into your own words. Yes, that's all you got to do. Absolutely.
Like similar words, like other words that say the same thing as
it would be better to do that. So since let me show you something, and this is not part of the training, it's something I figured out for myself when I started. Okay, so here's how I did it because this training even wasn't what it is now, and if you can believe that. So I mean, I would go to the videos and it would say broken link, you can't even watch the video. So whatever, I had to figure it out on my own, and I did. So I would go here and I would copy this, right? So those are Rory's words. And the reason I do this, because you just talked about Word earlier, and I'm like, well, you know, I have Word here. I'm going to see if I can get Word to help me. So I would create a new document and I would just title it, and I saved it. And so when we had the big crash and these people didn't have a backup, I had created all my pages using Word, so I had all my work saved because of the way I did it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I created a new paragraph, and then I would say something. I would name this Control S, and then I could name it first post. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I would save it wherever. I'm not going to save this. I don't need put it in. I created a folder named 247 or something like that. You know, I have tons of folders. So you organize those however you want. But now
That's why I missed my word. I missed my word.
yeah, because you're used to using it. And that's why I used it. I figured, hey, I paid for this. I'm using it.
Yeah, and it'll give you the cinnamon.
Yeah, right. And that's what I was getting ready to show you. And you already know that. So here's how I did it. I would do this. I would say Control V, all right, and then I would come over here and I actually created a label for myself so that I knew what was what. So I would say uh, I think I said
First post.
yeah. Well, it's the first paragraph.
Okay.
I know I was naming it rewrite. Okay, so yeah, first post is the name of the document because that's what it is. But let's just say paragraph one.
Okay, there you go.
Or how about first paragraph? And that's another thing. Word will sometimes change your stuff. So you couldn't think of how to spell paragraph. Okay, so first paragraph. Now here's how I did it. I don't really need to keep track of this because when my little formula that I use. So I would highlight this and you can see my red is still. So now I know that that's copied words, right? So now I would say, oh, I know what I was doing. I was just saying this. I was just doing this. I was doing one. So that meant the first pair or first thing on the page. And then I was putting one RW, but I got to change it so that it's back on black, right? And yeah, because I don't want it to be red. So then I was putting one RW. And now I was rewriting these words. And if I came to something and I'm saying, you know what, there's got awesomeness. What's a synonym for awesomeness? And then I would right click on it and come here and oh, they don't have any suggestions because awesomeness is not a real word. But you can pick it out and make it awesome, and then you can see what synonyms are for awesome. So overwhelming, grand, breathtaking, splendid, tremendous, blah blah blah. And like for great, you wanted to say something about great. You can still do it in Word to just get synonyms for that matter, and rewrite it the way I'm showing you. It's two different ways to do the exact same thing is what I'm showing you here. Yeah, you could make a new paragraph block like I was showing you in the beginning, or you can do it this way and you don't need a new paragraph block because once you want to here's a thing I'm going to show you here. You do want to get the about the same number of words because this is content marketing. And some of it's just fluff. You know what I mean? It's just more words. Just don't worry about it. More is better than, but don't make it so wordy. It'll be too wordy. You keep it around the same number of words. And that's another thing that Word does for you. They keep your word count for you. So look,
Have words.
I know. But see down here, it shows you there's 47 words on this page right now. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really started rewriting it, but you get my formula of how I was doing it, right? So that's what I was doing. Then I would just go here after I finished my paragraph, copy it, paste it right over the block that was there because it's what I wanted anyway. I didn't need to create a new block. And then, I just did it that way. So that was the way I figured out how to do it for myself. That's not really in the training. How Rory he just writes right over what's there. So for whatever reason, he looks at it and then highlights it and starts typing, and the old stuff disappears. Well, bottom line is in the beginning, if you don't know, he has it all in his head. So that's why I want to see what's there. I might want to rewrite it again, two or three times before I get something that I'm proud enough to paste out on the internet. So that you use your own best thoughts as far as organizing yourself. So one last thing I will show you, Notepad I use daily because it's not Word and it comes with your Windows computer. So if you just use
Okay.
and it's a text document. Okay, so you can just create, you could just do it here first post and do the same formula, but you won't, it'll help you with misspelled words. But you won't be able to change the color of the font, but you can just pay. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So with a text document here, a easy way to do it is Control A, Control C. And now with a text document, which is Notepad, when you're doing coding, you don't want the text to change at all. So you have to use a text editor, this is called. So you already have this. You don't need Word to get going, is my point. You could do this, put that there, and then do one RW, and that stands for rewrite or however you want to code it. And then whatever came after that, then this is the new paragraph under there that you want to, and you'll know this was the first one or however you want to label it so you can keep track of it. Is that making sense? Yeah, it's a simple thing to do, but yeah, so until you do get back to Word, but Notepad, and you have that. So
Go to Google for the synonym.
yeah, right. Absolutely. You can Google everything. When you have a question, you can Google a lot of stuff about WordPress and all sorts of things. And I'll tell you, discovery in this business is so important. Some people, they just want to be told everything, and it's because you ultimately, when we're, advertising for a new affiliate, let's say, we're all in the same boat. Nobody knows anything. So you go and watch videos and start learning about the subject, and then you can write an article. But so it is discovery it's education, and then I'm not afraid to try and learn new stuff. So anyway, if I did it this way, where I added a new block, and I finished his whole paragraph right here, and I say, okay, this is great. My paragraph is there and I want to get rid of his paragraph. All I have to do, remember, this menu right here is now talking about this block because it's active right here, right? And if I hover over here, it outlines it for you. And you can actually move blocks around by clicking these up and down arrows. So usually what I do, let me show you what I do is I start students out this way. I say, you know what? I create a marker and I still do this. Sometimes I just copy Rory's page and rewrite it because I don't have time to get started from beginning. And so I just go ahead and rewrite it the way I learned how to do it when I first started. So I'll put a marker here at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many you like. You can use stars, pluses, equals, whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 12. All right, now you have to kind of move your mouse around to see the menu. But I would center this, right? And then this is going to be my marker where I left off when I was, so what if I went driving? I couldn't remember, did I modify this or not? Well, let's say I finished this paragraph. All I would do before I save over here is click inside this, make it active, and move it down below that paragraph. And then I would save it here and say, oh yeah, this is where I left off. When I open it up, I'll see the stars, which, it doesn't look bad. So right now, if I were going to leave those stars on there, I would put it up here at the very top, which is, we don't need it. You haven't started modifying this right now. And if you get stuck and you really can't get launched, let me know. But I think you got a good idea of what to do here to get these words changed on the page.
I want you to put that sentence back on there.
Oh, okay. Well, here's your. Let's do it. Let's finish this first paragraph. So
that was. I mean, that is something. I mean, what we said we are excited to have you something like this.
This here. This.
You can leave it right
Did you
there.
see? Did you see what I did? I used my history, my back. I clicked this until I got back to where I was. So if that ever happens and you want to go back, this is your back button over here. All right, not down, not on part of this. And I had my other student that whatever. What she had done is accidentally click this option here. see where it says top toolbar and there's no check mark?
Yeah.
When you click that, now this toolbar is frozen.
Oh,
It still shows you what is pertains to when you hover over it, but it's not going to be jumping around like it does. It's okay to do it that way if that's the way you like it. I keep it jumping around. Sometimes, like it. Remember how the toolbar got in our way sometimes when we were modifying
yeah.
the links. So either way, you know you have these options and play around with this, so you'll discover what way you like it best. So let's just move on here. And oh yeah, before we do that, I want to show you one thing, and that's these lines. This is the layout of this page. So when you first start, you do want to take a look at this by clicking these three lines. Is that three or four? Anyway, and it shows you there's 474 words on this post to begin with. Well, plus we added these words here, so it's counting those now. But you get my point. And when you don't want to look at this anymore, you just click the X. So this is how I do it. There's always more than one way. Rory does some things different than I show people how to do it. But that's why we have so many study halls, because different people learn differently, and what works for one works better for somebody else, and that's just the way it is.
Keep a track of my count. I would do that beginning to see
Yeah,
how
take a
many
look
words.
at that, because you wouldn't want to start out with 474 words. And if you create that external document like I did in Word, like I showed you for Word, you could put that word count and right in the beginning, start it out as 480 words or whatever it was.
Right.
And then that way you will know, you won't be curious. And so since we're making a recording out of this, let me do this one thing right here.
Oh, I forgot we were recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I have to upload it to YouTube before I can send you the link for it. So you're going to go out and think about all this while you're driving around. Anyway, so on 1F16 is what you start with here. All right. So that's Rory's site that he's making thousands a week off of, 1F16.com. And if you ever wonder, what was it before I modified it, you just come to this. In this case, it's the post. This is what it used to say before I made any, we haven't erased it yet. So you can see, we're not using this one really, but you can see I would have, long story short is, don't worry. That's why you don't need a backup. Rory's got a backup of 1F16. And so, you don't need to back up what he's already made and got. So here's the title. We already changed it. Welcome to our online community. Get ready to be impressed. And our title says, we're very glad you are here with our online community. Okay. And then we're so excited to welcome you to our online community. And then remember I was using, this is where I kind of wanted to use Word anyway, because I wanted to see what Word was suggesting for great. So you can probably think of synonyms without it, but countless, inordinate, prodigious, excessive, boundless. So none of those really mean great in my mind, but whatever. That you can use the same words, but don't word it exactly the same, because there's only certain ways to say the same thing. So I said, now I'm going to say, uh, what I'll do? He has this awesomeness thing going on. Right now, this menu is covering the words I want to show you. So I'll just click away and then that'll go away. So he has this more awesome. So I maybe use the word, which this is not a real word, but it's Rory. So, awesomeness is a word to him. He made it up, I think. All right. So, don't, okay. So I've already made a mistake here. See how it turned orange? And what it is it's this ed right here. Past tense. Past tense. Okay, so we are.
That sounds correct to me.
Well, you can't have some past tense, but Rory's already got so much in the rest of this that like right here. So keep posted. And what it is called, here's the difference between passive and active voice. They want you to write an active voice. So it would be the difference of it's saying, okay, I went to the store and got eggs. That's passive. I'm going to the store to get eggs. That's active. So as soon as you see the ed, and there's when you see this, watch what I'll show you this since we're here and making a recording. When this turns orange, you'll use this little feature here to help you to figure out what is it that, and not everything has to be perfect. You just need green overall. But you come down here to passive voice, which I knew what it was, and you click the eyeball, and now it's going to highlight it. See, so his very sentence in the beginning, it should be this, we are so excited. I don't know why it's not highlighting that, to be honest with you. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's because that's weird. That's kind of weird.
What about we're getting excited? No, it's
No,
still the same
yeah. No, we're so excited. We'll leave it like that for now, and we can fix it later. But anyway, that's how you see it with the eyeball. Okay, so just keep your eye on this right here. Readability,
Yeah.
because once we remove this first paragraph, all right. So this is another past tense right here. Made.
Mhm.
Making is more of a present tense, right? So we are
Yeah,
making
we're making available to you.
making available
We will be making available.
or available ABLE. I couldn't think. And I'm gonna be quiet. I have to quiet when I talk. Okay, I would type. We are making available for everyone. I don't really care what it says, but at this point, you're by reread. We are making available for you for everyone. We are making available for everyone such awesome new things coming online all of the time. And he says, oh yeah. So I can vast, I would say, how about huge? Okay. Now I do want to include, if you overuse your key phrase, they'll say, wait a minute, that's overused. So that Yoast, you see it already, I already got the readability back to green just because I know, we are making available for everyone such, and so these recommendations, if you noticed, it said percentage. And you'll understand this, the more you do it, the more it'll make sense. Once you get this down in your head, one of these days you'll be doing this, struggling, and say, oh, wait, I get it. It's not hard. And then boom, you'll be off and running. That might be tomorrow for you. I don't know when that day is going to come. But, I'm going to see if I can think of another word for community. I don't think so. Really, community means community, but I'll just paste it on here and see if Word has a suggestion.
Okay.
Just let's see what they say. And you're right. You can Google synonyms on public, civic, communal, municipal, free. So, yeah, none of those really. It is a community.
No,
No,
yeah.
yeah, it's a community. And community is really what this is written around more than online. The community is really the key phrase here. But online community,
What about, can you switch, put community in front and put online in the back?
sure you can. Hmm? You can do whatever you want. But up here in the first paragraph of the first sentence, you want it to be.
That's right, we're in the first.
I'm still in the first
Right.
paragraph. Yeah, but here's another thing. Let me show you something. I'm going to copy these words because I have them highlighted. And now I'm going to open Control F, which you're probably used to. That means find, right? So now it highlights wherever online community appears on this post. So it does appear not only just in the first sentence of the first paragraph, it needs to appear in the title. It needs to appear in the first sentence of the first paragraph. It needs to appear in a subheading H2 or H3. So this is a H3 heading. Here it is. And it needs to appear throughout the content because that's what the post in this case or page is written about. So what was happening before they came up with all these rules is people were like making it seem like their thing was written about one thing and they were writing it completely different to, to give them a red herring, move them
That
up.
makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why they have this formula. You know what I'm saying? So it should appear, but not too much. You don't want to just overdo it. Here it is again in a heading, but this is H4 heading, so it really only needs to be an H2 or an H3 heading to qualify for that part. But it does appear throughout, and it is the slug, and it also appears in the meta. And here it is in the meta. So those 5 places, it appears in your title.
It appears too much where my orange light.
Yes, the orange light was going to come on, and then
Okay.
you'll be easily to understand. And that when by clicking these down arrows, because there's 2 components to this Yoast. You have the SEO, which keeps you on track for the free organic traffic, and the readability, which keeps you on track for the indexing. So, people who don't write their pages correctly don't get indexed and get that free traffic. So, we want to keep active, and basically, I hate to say it, but we really our audience needs to be written for a 5-year-old to understand it. If they not a 5-year-old, a 5th grader. A 5th grader could read what we wrote and it wouldn't be too so big words and all that wordy, it's not really what we're doing here. It's a blog and it should be conversational, not necessarily a 5th grader, but a 5th grader should be able to grasp 90% of what's on the page, and that's when if yeah,
The beauty is you got somebody overseeing it as you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. This tool right here, that's why I needed to record this so you can understand Yoast and how this works. So when you start doing this, so anyway, I'm going to complete my thought here and just finish what we had here. So this is a huge community. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Whoops, I typed the wrong letter, didn't I? My cursor's covering it now. Whoops, I got 2 M's, 3 M's. Of internet bloggers. I already said things earlier, didn't I? I don't like to say it twice. Beneficial products or services. Okay, period. So now my paragraph's about a little bit more than his, and I can turn this off, this find thing. That Control F is how you get defined if you want to find something on your page. And I can turn this off. So now my paragraph is it's acceptable. I still have my readability and my SEO are both green, right? So that's good. And I happen to have this one up. Remember, don't try and make everything perfect down here. This green overall, sometimes you have to leave one red and fix another one or something like that. Rory uses a lot of passive voice. That's why as you rewrite this will probably go back to what they expect it to be. 16.7% of the sentences contain passive voice, which is more than we recommended. Maximum 10%. So yeah, you can have some passive voice. You can say, like I did up here. In fact, they didn't even highlight it when we clicked on the eyeball where I said excited, remember? Well, excited is not really in past tense. Yeah, maybe it is. It is. I don't know. But look for the ED. That'll always be your clue. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can be excited right now. So it really isn't past tense. So that's probably why they didn't highlight. Trust me, they're a lot smarter than I am. So you can see his paragraph has one passive sentence in it, and ours has none. So I'll turn this eyeball back off. And then now what I would do here is I'll go ahead and click inside of his paragraph. I'll click these 3 dots And down at the bottom of this list is delete. So now his paragraph is gone. Our paragraph and our title is here. Now, the one thing we did want to do was set up a marker because now we do have one paragraph on your first post modified, and you can keep it. You don't have to change it. It's done. So, you just do the same thing that I just did. Keep working down this post. And believe me, the first one's going to be hard and slow. So just give yourself the grace that it takes to figure it out. And you'll do that. And so anyway, 3 ways to do the same thing. Remember what I said? Or usually at least 3 ways. So oftentimes there would be a plus sign that appear, and the reason it's not appearing right here between these two blocks, these two different paragraph blocks, is because this image is there. So if I were to just take and move this image down, I'll show you what happens. Okay, now I'll go back up here and see that blue plus sign. So I could click this right here, and then I can decide which kind of block did I want to add, an image block or a paragraph block or a heading block. Those are the 3 that you'll be using. This HTML appears because I added that translation widget yesterday on your site. But anyway, long story short is these don't always, all the different blocks that are available don't always appear right here in this first list. So you may have to, like, if you wanted something different, let's say I wanted, well, this is a list. I don't really see anything here that you would be using that's not here, but let's just say I type in media. And so now, see, I could put a media and text block in there if I wanted to by clicking this. But we want a paragraph block. So I'll just go back to paragraph. And so that's this plus sign, how to add a block. All right. Now, another way to do it is that's the plus sign. And it only really appears when there's no image in the way. It'll appear between two paragraphs. All right. So if there's an image in the way, that doesn't show up. But you see, come down here. And well, it's because this image is in the way, blocking it. I don't see any other places where there's no image between paragraphs. So you can use that plus sign if you want. Like I showed you, the easiest way to do it is to click there and hit enter. Boom, you got your new paragraph block. If you wanted to change it to something different, you could just click that and say, no, I wanted a heading here. And click heading, and then it'll make it into a heading and say, star, 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 because that's what I was going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now watch. Oh, my block is a heading. I meant to make it a paragraph. So I just click this, and this is how you transform a block. And now it's a paragraph again. Now I'm going to put this in the center right there. And just because of, balance on the page. Now I'm going to update all this by saving it. And don't be hesitating on clicking this. Now, in this case, it's view post because we're not looking at, here's the thing. When you're modifying your post and you use this feature, edit post and view post right here, or that one that comes up after you save, it makes it this way. It puts the search in this translation widget on the wrong side, on this side over here. So don't worry about that. That's really not what people are seeing anyway. And it really wouldn't matter. If they came here and it looked like this, it wouldn't hurt. This is what we're working on, the content area. The way this really appears to the world is here. When you click on home, now it shows you your post and you can see that it's at the top of the list. So, if you're working on just modifying your post, you might want to just go back and forth from that screen and don't worry about the search and the widget and the translation being on the left, because that's the way it is. And let me show you something. So when I edit this and then I click on here.
Say what you're clicking on, because we taping.
Yeah, I'm taping. So I went to edit the post from your home page. So let me do that again. I'm gonna slow down. So I was here on your home page. Your 2 posts appear on your home page. There's the first one, there's the second one. Right? So when you start your second one, you're gonna figure out what the focus key phrase is. Yeah, I got something coming up here. I'm gonna have to get off here. 1 o'clock. Anyway, you're gonna have to figure that out. And looks like Shane welcomed you to the community. And Shane, Shane is like right below Rory, so he's been here the longest. Anyway, um, he's actually a blind guy and he does this. He has a special computer and everything. He's really nice. He's really nice. So, people who have handicaps, allow them to hold them back. And I'm not just saying we're all handicapped. Whether it could be emotional.
They want you to help them. They want to do it.
Yeah.
And if you find one that need all this help and want this and that, then
they're just needy. They're just needy. They don't want to hand up. They want to hand out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Those just be sitting on the side of the
Yeah,
road.
right. Well, we got them camped out in tents underneath the freeway passes over here.
Sympathy.
Yep, that's it. So they can get some money to buy more alcohol,
Exactly.
Yeah, so most of that is picked by their own choice. So anyway, bottom line is you can do it however you want. And what I did.
Question before I forget. I noticed some of the words are capitalized, and some aren't. Is there a rule with that, in the middle of a sentence and it's not, person, place, or thing? And like, for example,
Well, I'm a little bit more, how do you say, schooled, so I don't like that type of thing. If I want to emphasize something, like you see, I used online community and art block in our first paragraph. I typed it the normal way. So what I would do in this case, now I'm going to modify this first post. So since I'm on the home page, see it's gray, that shows that I'm on the home page and not in the place where I can modify the post. Remember, WordPress is the one that's treating these differently, posts and pages. So that's why when we first created, we have to tell WordPress, I'm creating a new post or I'm creating a new page. 90%, no, 99% of the time, you're going to be creating a new page. If you accidentally make a post and you think you're making a page, it's not going to work right. It'll end up on your / nothing instead of.
we're editing post right here. When I'm
Right here, we're
stuff,
doing
right?
we're working on post, yes. And that's just kind of the jumping off point to get going. But the editing process, once you get to your Velveeta pages, which is what you'll be doing, remember. So after you edit these two posts, you're going to come down here to health and fitness, and then you're going to click on the category page, which I just clicked and now it doesn't matter. And then we're going to start, you're going to do the biohacking a better you. And then you're going to do this page and your links are already changed. So you get credit for Velveeta. That's what we did yesterday. And so all you have to do is modify this content. As soon as you get the first page done, we'll start posting ads to drive traffic to this page. I mean, you could literally start driving traffic to this page right now if you wanted to, but there's a lot to learn, and there's really no sense to jump ahead to the ad posting training right now. It doesn't, it's counterproductive.
Okay, so back to up there.
Yeah.
This is editing post 2 where we are now, where you are right now.
No,
No.
this is where you're gonna go after you finish your posts. Okay.
And that would be
Home.
doing a page.
Yeah, that'll be where your first pages are. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
under
so
that
the
help.
other one, home is doing the post.
The posts, the first two posts,
Okay.
and then after that you're off of posts. Okay, so you're just going to be learning the modification process by going through these, and they need to be changed. There is a useful purpose for these because this template that we use that Google gives us money for having, as long as they think they see that you're the author and not Rory, then they'll put the ads on your site just like they do on mine.
Okay, back to my question in paragraph 1.
Yeah. Okay.
In the middle,
right.
In the middle, there is a sentence. This is a huge community of internet bloggers. You see that?
Right. I typed that in there. Correct.
Okay, I like what it said. What I asked was, I noticed how some words are.
Rory has it that way quite a bit in his typing. I know. I don't like here he put created and shared to the marketplaces. You see what I'm saying? So he has it capitalized here and he has it capitalized here. No, the answer is this is creative license. You get to do what you want. I call it
Okay.
I call it emphasis. So I
I
wanted to,
like it. I like it. I was just, grammatically correct,
right,
but
it's
it's
not,
okay.
and this is a blog. Remember, a blog is an opinion. It's
Yeah.
not an essay. We don't have to go by all those
Okay.
conventions.
What's your
You
opinion in
you can
being
emphasize. So what I'm getting ready to show you here is since I emphasize this by capitalizing it in my paragraph, what you could do is this too. Watch. So I'll go down here to where I can edit this post. All right. So this is the first post, and down by the date where we changed it is edit this. Now I'm here again. And so when I click in here, and it was the huge community. So I could also, there's other ways to emphasize words too, right? Like, so if I highlight that and then I click on bold, right? Or I can click on italicize. Now I save it. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
So now we've really emphasized this. So we're going to view post. So that's what I'm saying. When you're modifying your first post, you might just do it the way I'm doing it here. Go back and forth
Yeah.
right here, edit post. And if you notice, now that slug appears, but it's a post. It's not a
Yeah.
page. Remember
Yeah.
that it's the post,
Yeah.
and that's why this is over here on the left. But this is the
Okay.
content area that you're working on. It really doesn't hurt anything to have the middle and the menu in the middle. If somebody did end up on this actual post, it would look like this, but normally that doesn't happen. So now you can see I've really emphasized huge community by capitalizing it, italicizing it, and bolding it. So those are the ways. So when you want to draw attention to certain key phrases or words, you can use Rory's idea, which is like marketplace to him.
Like he likes the word awesomeness.
Yeah, right. Like he has community here, and so he's just using poetic or creative license, and
I got you. I got you.
you got it. All right, so I'm gonna stop my video recording now, and
Oh,
we're ready to get off of this thing and see what you can do tomorrow. And now in my post, tomorrow's Thursday, and in our group chat and in Christina's group chat. Oh, okay. So on Thursday, so you really have quite a bit. You might need me to answer some questions for you, but it'll take you at least a day to get through these first two posts. And
yeah.
then,
A question about everything. I'll do it, and
and
then
then
my
when you can't
question.
figure it out, let me know. And don't be hesitant, but I'm not going to hound you. That's not me. I don't hound anybody. They do what they need to do or they don't, that's not my call.
I know you're busy. I'm
Yeah.
not the only one you're working with. The least I can do is try it myself,
Right.
do it, and then write questions
And
when I talk to you later.
my 83-year-old guy is the one I was on with this morning. I told you about him. And I mean, so I still have to show him stuff one-on-one. And he's been
Yeah,
here for a year. So anyway, it happens. Okay, so here we're going, and it
yeah,
was all about social media that he was having difficulty with. And so that's why I say there's a lot to learn and do, and we don't want to try
yeah.
and cram it all in.
Haven't even gotten to the
No,
social media.
like I said, there's a lot. So we're not going to really try and get overwhelmed with all of everything in one time. My point was on
Right.
Thursday, if I don't hear from you, keep your eye on our group chat in WhatsApp, and you can do it on your phone. You don't have to do it on your computer. It's just handy when I send the link on WhatsApp. You can click on that link from your computer instead of on your phone. You see what I'm saying? And with your WhatsApp on your computer, when you click on the link, it'll open it in the Chrome browser like I wanted it to. And that's why we changed it to default. And there's a whole bunch of reasons of why we're doing all this. But here's my point. When you're doing this edit post, um, uh, after you finish, you may have to watch the video again to remember how to delete if you do it this way. Now, if you were typing it out on Notepad and all you'd have to do is highlight his words, backspace, and then paste yours over. Don't even backspace, just paste it over it and it'll go right over there, right? So don't forget, this is my back button, so I don't hesitate to do something. Actually, if I leave the page without saving it, it'll allow me to do that, but then it's going to save a auto save version, and when I come back, there'll be a big pink blob or blurb up alert up here. It says, "Oh, you have an auto save version of this page or post because you left without clicking save. And so then you can look at what they saved and see if it's something you want or just let it go or whatever. But don't be surprised when you see that. The auto, when it talks about auto save version, that's what it means. You somehow got away. It could be your computer stopped working. I don't know. But don't rely on the auto save is my point. I never did stop my see, I made I made
Okay.
I made a recording here.